What I want to do today is try to make something that I actually have less than an hour. I want to get an idea down for We Sample Everything sample challenge. They sent me a sample. I said I wanted to be a part of it. They sent me the sample. I got my iPad here. So what I like to do with sample challenges is I try not to use it as is. Some samples is they just sound so dope. It's like just throw some drums on it. Or if I'm in a rush, I just throw some drums on it. With this one, I might want to try to flip it a little bit. I also might throw on this high pass filter to take out some of that muddy stuff in the low end of the sample. Usually around 250, 300 or so. I have that around 250, 300 just to clean it up a little bit. The sample itself to me sounds a little high, so I think what I might do is pitch it down, maybe 3 semitones. Also might boost the, I have a bunch of effects and samples that I use, synths and stuff in the iPad. I do know I want to boost the level of this. So I like this JAX Make Louder plugin at the top here under DGST. I also like FAC Maxima. So I go in between which one I use to boost the level. For this one, I think I'm gonna go with FAC Maxima. Just throw that on there, and it just blows everything up volume-wise. I might turn it down just a little bit in there. I also like to throw on some delay. I have a bunch, like I said, I have a bunch of plugins. Eventide has a bunch of stuff. For something like this, I like to just go to Clevgrand. I have a bunch of their apps. You see the list here. And then MsLeD is a plugin that I'm a fan of. I don't know how to explain it, but it has pre and post processing. You can loop some of the effects. I might see what the synth thing does. So here we go. We're gonna just mess around. Just messing around. I think I like. I think I might record that. That's it. So I'm gonna rock with that. A lot of times it's just make a decision, stick with it, and then keep it moving, especially since I'm trying to do something within a certain amount of time. So I think I'm going to go with that, at least as a baseline. So now I'm loading up another track. I have a bunch of preset effects in here in my bank. So if I go load banks, just drums. I think for this one I'm going to go with Drum Digger, lay a beat down and see what happens. Just to make it a little different, I'm gonna add this at this part, this hi-hat open. I like that little effect. I might just put it on the downbeat of every 2 bars or so throughout the whole song. Let's see. So now I want to add 808. So I have an 808 bank here, and actually real quick on the drums, just show you some effects I got. FAC Transient, this preset called Punch on Drums, sounds really dope. Brings out a lot of the transients on the sounds there. And then I also have Lo-Fi Dirt. Shout out to MSX Audio, MSX sound design for this dope plugin. Basically adds a little bit of saturation. I can turn that up a little bit. And then FAC Maxima, another preset I use on the drums. This is the same one that I used on the sample here to just boost it up. It's like a limiter compressor a little bit. Actually, I like this one. So you already hear that how it sounds a little different from my processing. Here's some effects I have going on. Saturator. This is adopted from Henny the Business. Check out his page on YouTube. He's a Beatmaker3 user. I think a year or two ago he shared his processing on his 808. So I sort of took some of that and tweaked it a little bit. But I have Saturator from top to bottom. Saturator here. FAC Transient on just the initialized preset. Lo-Fi Dirt. Just a little bit of boost there. Haze, I did have Haze. It's just called Haze, but it was the first version of Haze. They just released Haze 2. So I use a little bit of this wide and all preset, and then this is some of my settings here that I use. DAW cassette, a little tape saturation there. You see some of the meters moving just to add some character to the 808. And then I have a compressor. This is the native Beatmaker3 dynamics, and I usually sidechain it with the drums here and the kick drum, which I believe I used on track 1, so that when the kick hits, it actually lowers the you see the yellow bar there, so the kick sort of lowers the 808 so that the kick can punch through. I might record, let's see, I might do some automation here. If I record, enable the automation record to on. And sometimes I record tuning of the hi-hat just to add a little character to the beat. At this point, AudioKit has some dope plugins. I usually go to FM Player 2. So the next thing, I think that was FM Player. I like to use Digital D1. I like what AudioKit's doing. Let's see if I can get it to load up here. I'm gonna try to get that in there somehow. Try to throw a little effect on the actual harp thing I just laid down here. Just bring it out a little bit. I like it's a little bit of a cliche, but I like the piano and just adding a low end piano. So this is Ravenscross 275. I'm gonna just hit record and see what happens. We're back to it. So I'm loading up Factory here. Factory is another app by Sugar Bytes. They have some great sounds, sound effects, sound design type stuff. So let's see. I actually like that. Has like a October-ish spooky vibe to it, Halloweenish type style. So I might see what I can do with that. like a melody that I sort of want to bring out that's in the sample. And I want to use some of these IceGear plugins here, or one of these IceGear plugins. So the first two you see there, Mersenne Chroniker, they're type of bell type apps. So I might even go with that. Let's see. I actually like that. We'll bring it down a little bit. Let's see. All right, I think we'll roll with that. Thank you guys for checking it out, and we'll see y'all next time.
The fingers on the beat.
That doctrine is crazy.
You put that sample crazy.
I'm feeling this.
Oh, that's dope. Alright.
Okay, I like those melodies that you put in there.
I like that. Like how he flipped the hook section of this beat.
You killed them hi-hats.
I like the bass too. Okay, switch it up on the drums. I'm a sucker for those.
Play that. This is so dope how you added so many sounds. Like I hear the sample, but the fact that you added so much to it.
What is going on?
Yeah.
I like that melody.
Yeah, he flipped this nice. I like this. The things are showing out. It's got that bounce too. I can hear somebody snapping on this.
That was hard. I'm feeling that joint. I like the bass pattern. I like that bass sound the most. I like the drum pattern too. The joint's hard, man. I like that.
Yeah, that was dope. Well, DaFingaz he worked pretty hard on that sample, because that sample is pretty tough to work with to begin with, just off of the initial listens when we heard it. But you did your thing on that, man. That was dope.
That was crazy. That was crazy. Like I really like, yo, that joint. Crazy thing is, like, to me, the joint don't sound like the original sample, like, at all. I heard the little part at the beginning. I'm real bad at singing, but nah, that joint was crazy. That joint was crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in there. I like what you did with that, man. Good shit, bro.
That was fire. That was a very busy beat, but I like it. You put a lot of work into this, and you can tell you put a lot of work. You didn't rush this. You took your time, added multiple layers of sounds. I like that a lot. Like, for a second, I almost forgot about the sample being there. Like, and that was the best part of it. Like, you can hear the sample, but the fact that you put so many different sounds into it and worked around it, you killed this. Shout out to Fingers. Great work.
So first off, I want to just say thank you to WeSampleEverything.com for letting me be part of your project. I appreciate it a lot. So I stayed true to the name, SmplBeats. You know, I just threw a sample in the sampler in Beatmaker 3 and chopped it up a little bit. And this is what I came up with. And that's what I came up with for that. And then, so what do we do there? After that, we went in ahead and added some hi-hats. I really feel like it could have went either way with this sample. It could either went bappy or it could have went trappy, and I kind of went to the trappy. So yeah, you know, preferences. Everybody has their own thing. And of course, I added some rim shots to it. I really love rim shots. I like rim shots over snares, so you know, it's my wave. Then you gotta add the kick, of course. Can't make a beat without a kick. Added some, you know, a crash and some rides, and that's about it. Another ride. I honestly believe sometimes you just don't need to add a lot of effects to something or to a beat. And I didn't add a lot of effects to this beat. I kind of like the way it sounded, you know, just making everything, leveling everything out, and that was about it. That's all I did to it. It's nothing fancy. Hope y'all enjoyed. We sample everything.
They've got that trap vibe. Like how you switched going into this first verse.
Okay.
I like beats like this.
I like the way you chop that.
Sneak up on you, like.
Yeah, it's got that chill vibe.
Like you could spit real hard to this, but like in a real calm voice. Like I can hear somebody like Freddie Gibbs on this joint. Like this particular flip.
I like how you use that though. Okay, just the bass drum. Something about to jump off. Oh, that would have been a perfect lead in right there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought a big drop was gonna come in and that beat was just gonna hit. But you went back to the original, which is cool, but you had room to play there. You could have definitely dropped some crazy drums right there.
Hear how this ends.
Oh, it's over. Oh, you made it short. I like that joint. I like that joint a lot. It had a real like laid back vibe to it. I dug it. Like I feel like if you was spitting to that, like you could go in on it, but not even like have to like really like raise your voice too much. You know what I mean? Like you could have you could spit like some real like bars to that, but just like with a real like kind of like a calm demeanor about your voice. You know what I mean? Like while I was playing, I was thinking like about like somebody like Freddie Gibbs spitting over that. Because his voice to me would fit that very well. Because his voice is very deep, and it just left like mad space for that. I like that one. I felt like that one left the most space for a vocalist.
Oh, that was fire. I like that too. So on this one, I say I like the drum pattern the most, and how it was on like a chill vibe. The whole thing kind of like had a whole little flavor to it.
That was cool. I could, you know, the trap vibe. I just feel that you could have did more with the drums. Like that one part, it was almost like a build up, and I thought it was gonna be a big drum drop, and you just went back to it's like a build up basically. It sounded like the whole beat was like a build up, and I was just left waiting for that drop. But that was cool. I get it. SmplBeats the name, so. That was nice and simple, trap vibe. I just wish it had that drop. But good job. Shout out SmplBeats.
I like that vibe to it, man. It's got that super chill vibe, like you want to smoke an L or just relax. I don't know, maybe I was looking for a little bit more out of this particular sample. I know everybody has their own flavor, their own style of doing it. It just felt like this beat could have led into you going real crazy with it. Because it definitely had the structure for you to just go ham, you know what I'm saying? But I do like the vibe of the beat, and good job to you as well, SmplBeats.
Yo, what's good, fam? This is D, also known as MindAlteringFX, about to participate in the 4-producer challenge with WeSampleEverything.com. For today's sample, we're going to be using DragonFlyBry's Space Chemical sample from his sample pack. Check it out. So here's a breakdown of the track. You have track C1 and E1,
E1 is the 1984 kit, which is a Beatmaker 3 drum kit, and I have that used. I'm using that kit for my drums. And C1 happens to be a variation of the sample, and it chopped up and played back for the actual track. And this is how the sample chops sound. Also for E1, which is the 1984 kit, I have it's at the default drum kit, and then I have the FAC transient to bring out the dynamics of the drums. And for C1, I have the FAC Bandit loaded on there to add some dynamics to boost the signal of the actual sample chops. We have F1, which is the Angel Bell kit loaded in there, and it pretty much is set. It has all the basic default plugins that come with the Angel Bells kit, as well as I manipulated some of the dynamics to bring it out more to mix it more in within the realms of the track. For track D1, I have another variation of the sample. I added FAC Bandit to add some delay. Now for track G1, the Ashes kit. Now heading towards the end of the track, I've added on the main outs some delay and the FAC Bandit. So the outro of the track will have a delay at the end. MindAlteringFX signing off for the 4-producer challenge.
Okay, just slow down. Chop that up.
Okay, this is different. I didn't expect this.
Totally different vibe from the first beat. Okay.
That's dope. That's a dope sound. Always getting crazy with those effects.
Just playing around with instrumentation on this a lot. I like that symbol.
This also gotta have a crazy switch up and beat drop.
Switching it up again.
Here it comes.
Switch the pitch. It's got that kind of like that rave festival kind of vibe.
Okay, we still at the switch up.
But he switched it up completely.
It's a dope drop.
Yeah, it's busy. It's a busy beat. You can picture strobe lights and then the club just getting hyped to it.
This has a totally different vibe than what I expected.
I never seen nobody modulate with a sample before. It's crazy.
I like that crash. Well, that was definitely a totally different flip from the last beat that I just listened to. That's the beauty of this type of competition. Everybody has a different ear and a different vibe and a different sound and a different approach to how they attack a sample. So that one was pretty cool. I like it because I think atmosphere has everything to do with it. And I feel like that's the type of party atmosphere, you know, your social gathering or, you know, a little, whatever you call those drink mixers and stuff like that. Like it's got that kind of vibe to me with that beat. But that's what's up. Good job, man. MindAlteringFX.
I don't know. That was straight fire, man. I'm glad I'm not in this battle, man. Wow. I like the flip a lot. There's a lot of variation too. The drums are hard. I like the change up. I like the little earthquake sound too, where like on the second part of the second half of it had that little earthquake on the downbeat. That whole thing is fire, man. Wow.
That one was different. Like not in a bad way, nothing like that. It was just different. I do kind of wish I like the way he like kind of changed the key of the sample, like from one part of the song to the next part to the next part. That was pretty dope. I definitely got like a dance music type of vibe off of that. But yeah, dope flip.
I like how you ended it. That was cool. It had like an island clubby kind of vibe. I expected more of a drop, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't feeling that straight chop through, that half a chop bounce. I didn't expect that. It was definitely different. There's always one in these challenges where they just surprise you and it's just totally different than what you think from listening to the sample. But yeah, like I said, it was cool. I love the effects in it. I just wish you did more with the chops and like I said, when you switched it up midway, I wish it had a better drum break, a drum drop.
What's up? It's your boy IceeKoldBeats checking in. About to get right into it with the sample flip. Hanging up with WeSampleEverything.com. So yeah, let's get into it. And yeah, the first thing that came to my mind when I heard that sample was I gotta make a trap beat with this one, man. Trap. Alright, so you already know what it is. Gotta go ahead and go with the IMPC Pro 2 app with this one. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do real quick, let's go ahead and load up this sample. So I like the way that already sounds and whatnot, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick chop up on that. Alright, so after modifying those chops a little bit, got like 4 different mute groups. On the third mute group, I actually applied a filter to it, turned it up to 80. Fourth mute group, I just left that alone. The level stayed at 64, and didn't apply any type of filter to it at all. Yeah, so as far as on that track 7, that little piece I chopped out, you know what I'm saying, for the actual intro, let me go ahead and play that for you so you can hear what that sounds like. I actually applied some filters to that as well. Not filters, but effects. I think it was a reverb and a little bit of delay. But let me go ahead and get into that so you can hear what it sounds like. And that's pretty much it right there. And when that beat drops, you know, when it first comes on, you can hear where I went at with that. And then for the most important part of this beat was the 808. I had to actually tune that a little bit. I had to drop it down to 46 on that, so I can actually kind of go along with the sample. Well, basically what I did was I just did the 16 levels on that. And it was pretty much history from there on. So that pretty much sums it up. I hope you enjoy this beat. When you hear it, this is IceeKoldBeats signing out.
Well, that's starting off. Pitch shift.
That sounds crazy.
So it's got that beat battle vibe too.
That hits you.
It's got that. Yeah, I can see this in a beat battle.
This is what I'm looking for. This is it. This is it.
Let's go. Okay. Oh yeah, room for the artist. There you go.
Yeah, this is fire.
I like that vibe. Okay.
Woo.
You place these in the right places. This is.
Oh, that's nasty right there.
That bop, and you left plenty of room for someone to get on here and spit. Crazy.
I like that. That's fire.
I love this dark, grimy.
I like the left right band implementation he put into this too.
That was dope.
Yo, I damn, yo, I like that joint. I like the last two joints. Well, let me not say it. I like that joint. That joint is crazy. I really like that joint. Yo, I like the way, cause at the beginning it kind of like you just hear the joint speeding up, so you're just like kind of ramping up, and you're not really sure what to expect, and then like the drums hit. That was dope. I thought there was mad space in there left for a vocalist. And then that loop he had going was like, it's like making some type of crazy noise. That was dope. I like that one. That was fire. Yeah, I like that one. Yo, everybody, dope job, everybody. I feel like everybody really did their thing with the sample. Yeah, so that was dope.
That was fire. I like that, Ice Cold. That was fire. I had the head bop going. It sound well put together. Everything hit hard and well, like the drums, the bass, the hi-hats, the little cymbals in there you had going on was well put together. That was dope.
Oh man, the way that cuts off, bruh. Oh man, you could have went a little more on that one, man, because it definitely had that feel like it was building up into something too, like everybody's getting ready to get crunk. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you flipped this one as well, man. IceeKoldBeats. I like the way you flipped it. I liked the structuring and how you flip the structure up a little bit and you switch the instrumentation up a little bit. It kind of takes you on a little bit of a ride. Just wished it was a little bit longer, and the way you did the beginning of the beat, I feel like it could have came back towards the end of this beat as well, because it kind of cuts off abruptly, like right before it seemed like you was getting ready to get into your bag, man. But shout out to IceeKoldBeats. Good job on your part as well.
So on this one, I like the drive a lot. I like the drum sounds. I like the drum selection on this one, and the stereo field was super wide. All the drums like had their own space. The sample fit in perfect. The low end was tight. That's gonna be a tough one.
Good job to everybody who participated in this 4 producers 1 sample challenge, iOS version, iPad version. Everybody keep doing your thing. Holler at us at WeSampleEverything.com and keep just doing you and be happy with what you do. Nothing else matters.